Welcome back to God Factor, where we raise awareness about God's invincible hand working behind the scene. Fasten your seatbelts, get comfortable, and open up your hearts to receive from today's podcast with Lola and Josephine.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to God Factor. We are your hosts, Lola and
Josephine.
So I hope everybody that you're keeping safe and you're enjoying this great weather that we have out there. Please make sure you go outside, go for a walk, go for a run, enjoy the sun, and have a fabulous, time with your family. So today we're going to be talking about indicators of complicated relationships. And in our last episode, we talked about what are complicated relationships. But today we're taking that to the next level to just throw it out there, some of the basic indicators of complicated relationships.
Yeah, so let's first define what indicators mean. So indicators basically means what are the signs that you should take note of when you're looking at a complicated relationship. What are the warning signs? So that's what indicators mean. So
Or some patterns,
some
over a
patterns, yeah.
period of time that you see, that make you know that this is actually, a complicated relationship. Yeah.
So let's get started. What are some indicators of complicated relationship? The first thing I'm gonna say is when you feel like you're not being heard by the other party, friends, partner, whatever it is, when they are doing all the talking, you are doing all the listening, and when it's time for you to talk, they turn around and they walk away. When you feel like you're not being heard, that is definitely a sign of or indicators of a complicated relationship.
Yeah, I agree with you, Josephine, because you see, in any relationship where you've lost your voice or you've lost your value, you're not being heard, you're not being listened to, you're not being validated, that's number one indicator of complicated relationships. Because when you are in a relationship, everybody wants to feel valued, and you make me feel valued when you listen to me, when you pay attention to what I'm saying, when it matters to you. So indicators of complicated relationships, number one that we're looking at today is when you don't feel heard or listened to or validated. It's all about the other person, nothing about you. It's about them all the time.
Yeah.
Any attempt, like Josephine said, for you to talk, they shut you down, they criticize you, they minimize you. They basically just put you down there in the floor and just march over you. That's number one indicator of complicated relationships. Yeah.
Another one is when you have no idea what the two of you are doing. Now I'm talking about more of like a a couple type relationship. When you have no idea what the two of you are doing, you don't know whether you are in a relationship or not, or you don't half the time you guys are confused about what is going on in the relationship. Then that's
you don't know where you are heading. There is no value that is determining the relationship. Anything goes. You're not in that relationship with the future in view. When you look at the future, it's dark, it's blurry, it's blur. It's just like we're just in this, just for nothing. And any attempt you make to ask the other partner or your friend, or like, okay, so what are the terms? What are we up to? It's like, no, don't worry, we'll figure it out as we go along the way. That is a red flag. Those are indicators, because nobody gets into the car. You say you're driving somewhere and they ask you, where exactly are you going? I don't know. Or maybe a pilot is flying a helicopter from one spot to the other. There must be a goal. There must be something that you're running at. Must be a plan, And if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail,
But
Yeah.
for a relationship that is just developing, do they need to have a goal? Do they need to know where they're going? I mean, it's just the start of the relationship. Must
Yeah,
they?
I think there should be a goal, whether that goal is a huge goal or a small goal or a baby step. There must be something. There must be something, that ensures that you're not just in it for being in its sake. The Bible says, who wants to build a house and will not first of all count its cost? It may not be a goal that is really elaborate and huge. It could be, okay, we want to keep each other company. I want to
Okay.
be able to have somebody to talk to, or I want to have somebody to hang out with who shares the same value with me. Not necessarily like we want to build this in 2 years or 3 years. No,
Okay.
you can start small and then later on you begin to build some other solid layers on the goals. Yeah.
And for a relationship that has developed to the point of, let's say, courtship, if you still have no idea what the both of you are doing or where you're going in the future, then I mean, that's a big, big red flag. I won't even say indicator. I feel like that's a huge red flag, and you probably need to rethink rethink some things about your partner.
And another indicators of complicated relationships is when you're not included in the plan of, your friend or your partners, or your husband. You're not included at all. They just solo. They just build these silos around them that is all about them. They don't want to do anything with you. They don't want to go out with you. They're just making a plan as if they are still single. That is one of the indicators,
Yeah.
of complicated relationship. When somebody doesn't include you, your opinion does not matter. They don't want you to be part of what they are planning. They are planning vacation without you. They are planning to go somewhere without you. It's like all the time you're forcing yourself into their schedule. You're fighting your way to be included. Those are indicators of complicated relationships.
Another indicator is when you feel the need to hold your emotions back, when you feel the need to just hold some of your thoughts back, some of your words back. Definitely a red flag. We feel like you need to do that, because I feel like every relationship you should be open enough to be able to say how you feel, to be able to tell the other person how you're feeling. And not being able to do that can lead to emotional backlog, which could be very dangerous down the line, because if that ends up happening, you would end up saying things that you don't really mean. So if you feel like you have to hold your emotions back because you don't want to hurt the person, you don't want to make them feel bad, then yeah, that's a...
So, I mean, what I'm hearing from you, Josephine, is when there's lack of openness, when
True.
there is lack of vulnerability, you're
Yeah.
constantly
Yeah.
walking on eggshell around the person.
Yeah.
You don't want to rock the boat, you don't want to get them offended, then that's really concerning. Those are pattern, when you start the relationship, it could be like that. Maybe you have not really grown to know each other the more, but as the relationship evolve and you get deeper to know each other, it should be the time when you are naked and you're not ashamed. You're vulnerable. In friendship there should be some level of that sharing and caring that is genuine, that is authentic. You're not hiding, you're not pretending. That this person accepts you regardless. So, but if that is not happening, that could be one indicator that your relationship is complicated. Yeah.
And you don't want to be in a relationship with someone whom you don't feel comfortable to tell how you're feeling.
Yeah. And another one is lack of sacrifice. Lack of sacrifice. What I mean by that is the person is not ready to sacrifice anything for you. They are not ready to go that extra mile for you in that relationship. They are constantly complaining, oh, you're bothering me, oh no, I don't have time for you. They are not ready to sacrifice. One of the basic foundation of a good relationship is ability for you to look away from your need and focus on the need of another person. But if you're in a relationship where the person is so selfish and self-centered, doesn't even do anything for you, doesn't even look your direction to say, what can I do to support you? Then that could be one indicator of complicated relationship. Yeah. Any other points coming to your mind? Yeah. So another indicators could be, the person is not even introducing you to family members or anybody.
No.
You can never be seen outside with them. You are kind of like this young, girl or this young guy in the secret that they hide from everybody. That could also be, don't you think so?
Yeah, I think so. I'm actually watching a show right now called Blue Therapy. It's where, well, there's like two couples who are seeing a therapist regarding like problems in their relationships, and one of the couples, the guy said, or the lady expressed her feelings towards the guy, saying that, why haven't you taken me to see your parents? And the guy was like, my parents are Ghanaian, your parents, they're Nigerian, you're from a Nigerian household. I don't know how my parents would take to you. I don't know how they would react to you, because Nigerians are so loud. And they've been in a relationship for 1 year. So the girl is like, like, this is weird. I've introduced you to my parents. Why can't you introduce me to your parents?
Yeah. So the level of commitment should be the same, right?
Yeah.
So obviously that guy, the lady is more committed and the guy is still really constrained. I mean, for 1 year, if the guy is saying that after 2 months or 3 months, I understand, but you don't want to invest 1 year into a relationship that is going nowhere. If after 1 year of both of you being in courtship together, yet is still constrained about introducing you. When people want something, they go for it, regardless of anything. So these are just basics. There are many more, but we're just going to be stopping here, right?
Yeah, just to name a few, honestly. But go back, go home, look at the relationships that you're in. I mean, hopefully there are no negative signs or negative patterns of complicated relationships in your relationship. But go back, think about it. If you see some indicators in there, then just pray to God about it, and I believe he will show you the way out, or he will show you the way forward.
And please watch out for our next episode on ways out of complicated relationship. What do you do? How do you deal with a complicated relationship? And can we just say this, that no matter how complicated it may be, the solution to it is not complicated. It's really actually very simple.
Yeah.
So
simple, not easy.
Simple but not easy. Simple but not easy. I love that. So thank you very much for listening today, and we will see you in our next episode. Stay safe and God bless you.
Bye.
Bye.